There wasn't too much on the beach shell-wise, and it was cold and overcast. So what can you find when there's not much around? Well, I decided to go fishing for shells for a little bit, and I can't believe I snagged a bucket list shell in the process. There was thankfully a little on the beach, so I was able to find a few things and enjoy beautiful beach views. Welcome to Florida Beach Walks. I'm Roxanne. Let's go shelling in Boca Raton. Just me and the bird out here in the cold. Last week, I saw a lot of man of wars washing up, so I wanted to pop down here to Boca and see what the conditions were around the end of January before I was down here with Connor, and we saw beautiful purple sea snails around this time, but I didn't collect any because they still had their bubble raft still attached, and a local had let me know that they show up for only about a week or so, and then they're gone just as fast as they showed up. They follow the man of wars and blue sailors, but no purples today. And yikes, not too many shells either. But let's see what we can do. All right, let's start off with some micro shelling. Here is a crosshatched lucine. These are really tiny. Here is another one. And yes, I did see quite a few. Oh my word, it's like Jupiter Island. I find a lot of spectral bittersweet clams. Well, here in Boca, it's the lucines. They're everywhere. They're just all over. And here's the Pennsylvania lucine. It's really tiny too, juvenile one with a drill hole, predator drill hole. And these get much larger than the crosshatched, upwards to 2 inches. So this is just a little guy. Here's another tiny. Let's take a look at this one. I'm not quite sure if this is, okay, well, it's nothing now. It's shell hash. Oh, well, I wasn't sure that was a limpet. It crumbled a little easily. I know that's a limpet, a false striped limpet, much sturdier of a limpet. Yeah, I'm not sure if that other one was a limpet or not. Just crumbled a little too fast. So there was just a little bit out here, but I did, I picked up my share of crosshatched lucines, taking advantage. All right, gotta look underneath the seaweed also. Oh, here is a much larger one. These crosshatched can get up to 1 inch as a max. Here's compared to the other ones I was picking up so far. So that's a pretty big one. And let's grab another one. Oh wait, that is not a crosshatch. Nope, doesn't have the same patterning. All right, I'm only sticking to the crosshatched little guys for right now. Look at how many, they're just all over, all in the seaweed. Oh man. An alphabet cone. Now that would have been pretty awesome. I don't come across alphabet cones very often on the East Coast. And here is a much larger Pennsylvania lucine. It does have a little bit of staining on it. Looked like it was cracked and lack of oxygen in there. So I'm not sure I'll keep that one. And this is pretty interesting. I actually think that this is a juvenile lower valve or lower half of a zigzag flat. And I did find a much larger one last week. Yep, we'll go ahead and grab a few more of these. Why not? Taking advantage. Taking advantage. It's probably an overlooked shell to locals, but I was having fun. Here are a few more striped false limpets, and they belong to the family Siphonaridae, and they are only distantly related to keyhole limpets. Unfortunately for shelling, they do comb the beach in Boca. Not too bad in front of the parks, but definitely in front of the condos. All right, let's see what else we can find in my limited shell piles. Here is an Antillean file shell. Lamaria is the genus, so these also are known by Antillean lima shells. And here is a little worn out jewel box of some sort. When they're this little and worn, it could be a corrugate or an Atlantic jewel box. And here is a calico clam. I know what that is. Cute little juvenile one. All right, let's see what else is in our micro shelling path. Another false striped limpet. Its scientific name is Siphonaria pectinata. Here is a piece of coral, a rose coral skeleton. When they are dead and just dried and washed up like that, that's the skeleton, the coral skeleton. But I'll leave that at the beach. Let's see what else we can find. Let's see some slipper snails, boat shells, more coral. That one's really big, pretty chunk. Let's see. Let's go for this little worm cluster. We'll take that one. Oh, we'll also take some trash out of here too. Let's see what else we can find under all the seaweed. Let's see, crab claw. All right. Oh, here is a frond oyster. Go ahead and collect that one. I do like it when they have the leafy shapes. They look like the shape of a leaf. Those are really pretty. Some of them are really ornate looking. Just depends on how they develop. So I wasn't finding a terrible amount of shells, but a lot of little shells that I really did appreciate. But I started noticing there were like shell clusters here and there in the water. So I was just going to stand and get wet by the water's edge just for a little bit to see what I could get from my hand, just by reaching down. So let's see. I collected a mossy arc. But I did have the shell scoop in my backpack, but I wanted to see what I could just fish out of here by hand first. All right, a thorny oyster. That one has some good little thorn leafiness on the back of that. Normally they're all broken off. All right, so this is what I managed to pull out. Just a leafy jewel box and a true keyhole limpet and a false limpet. And yep, it was time to go ahead, take off the shoes, take off the socks, and let's see what I can go find fishing with Connor's shell scoop. Even though it was freezing, the water actually felt warm because it was a much warmer temperature than it was outside. And it started to pay off. Man, that would have been a beautiful, well, it is still a beautiful, it's broken, Atlantic hairy triton. Got another thorny oyster. Let's see what else I got there. And another keyhole limpet. And a yellow, I believe that's a yellow cowrie from the teeth there. That's what I think it is. Pretty worn, but. And the prize. Okay, this is the bucket list shell, a Cabrit Murex, and I can't believe I found one. Oh, when I was coming down here, I was like, oh Lord, please just let me find one. And I did, and I am truly, truly thankful. Just the first few scoops, and there it was. I didn't even know what I was fishing for. I was just scooping up clusters, and it was in there. A complete blessing. Very, very thankful to have found this shell. Another one checked off the bucket list, but let's see what else I can scoop up here. Lots washing in and how to kind of fight with the waves. Let's see, nothing in that one. Even though this shell scoop is a little cracked, Connor got a little excited beating the ground with it on our tour out to Shell Island. But it works pretty good. It's pretty sturdy. Yep, see? I don't even know. I'm just like chunk to chunk, scoop, scoop. Let's see what we get. All right, I won't keep it, but it's a broken crown conch. And at this point, I was pretty wet from the waist down. And it was so cold. But look, it paid off even again. It's a beautiful gold mouth Triton shell. Has a little bit of a nick on it, and the apex, the tip of the shell, or actually the rear of the shell, is not always quite, there. But hey, I think that is a pretty special find. All right, let's check out my other scoops. Here's the lightning whelk. That's pretty neat to find. I don't find those too nice. And oh man, another broken one, but this was a queen conch. That would have been so awesome. Oh my word, if I pulled that out all together, I probably would scream. But there would be no one on the beach except the lifeguard. Another false limpet. Let's see, got another thorny oyster. Ooh, that's got some thorns on it. Let's see what else I got in my scoop here. Just a bunch of slippers. Okay. All done with that one. Let's go get some more. I'm all wet. It doesn't matter. Another little whelk, a little bit smaller. And a turkey wing. Let's see. We got a green star. Little juvenile one. That's cute. These can get pretty big, upwards to 3 inches. I've seen them huge in dredge piles. Let's see, we got an auger. I think that's broken off, but I'll hang on to it. It's kind of tiny. Let's see, another, yep. The striped limpet walk. Another front oyster. Yep, got another one of those. Oh, and here is a beautiful, oh, that's really nice. Scaly scallop. That's a gorgeous pattern on that one. Nice. And what do we got? Oh, another tiny turkey wing, juvenile. Ooh, and oh, that's really pretty. That's a gorgeous true limpet. Beautiful, beautiful keyhole limpet. I'm not going to even try to guess what it is. There's so many. I tried to look these up and I was just like, okay, I give up. And here is a checkered neurite. I like these. I was happy to find this one. That's so pretty with the checkered. Black and white checkered. There also is another one that looks black and white checkered, but it's a little bit like cream and peach. It's called the 4-tooth neurite, and it gets a little bit larger than the checkered. So that's what I got in this scoop. And a thorny oyster. Picking up a lot of these. That has a nice little tip on it. Awesome. So I've been at this for about an hour, and yeah. I was about to call it quits. Okay, I got enough. I was happy with what I found. Here's the last bit of what I did find. 2 shark eyes and some more pretty limpets. That scallop was so teeny tiny. It was so cute. All right, I have dried off to the best of my ability with my warm socks and shoes back on. I saw this rolling up. I thought that was pretty neat, the way the coral had attached itself to this half of a thorny oyster. Continuing on my beach walk, I started to find some colorful rough scallops, and those are always pretty. This one's just gorgeous. I like how these have the saturation of color all the way through the shell. That's really pretty ombre. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, a pop of orange, and this one is a scaly scallop. Very nice. Let's see, gotta check under the seaweed. I didn't have too much shell hash to look through. Shell bits on the ground. Still a lot of these little lucines, these little crosshatch lucines. But there is a Pennsylvania one, but I already had one with the hole. Let's check out this worm snail cluster. I think these are so neat. It's just little balls of art. I used to bypass these, but I have recently started to collect them. So I'll go ahead and hold on to this one too. Oh, and here is a really nice Pennsylvania lucine. That is a nice size one. I think that's the prettiest one I've picked up so far. I think the other one had the black staining through it. Okay, that's a sea coconut, but it's a little rough shape, so we'll let that flourish somewhere and maybe turn into a palm. So with not too much on the beach, it just started looking small. I was looking under a lot of the seaweed and getting really, really close to see if I could find anything extra that I haven't seen before. And I found this one. I have not seen this before, so I don't even know what it is. It looks like some type of a auger, but I don't think it's an auger. Possibly a boring turret snail? Not sure. Let me know in the comments if you know. Here is another crosshatch lucine, although it could be a dentate lucine. I was looking up these lucines, and the dentate looks pretty close to the crosshatch, and they do get a little bit bigger than the crosshatches do. Go ahead and pick up this garbage. And here is a corrugate jewel box. That's a cute little guy. I'll definitely hold on to that one. It's got some nice coloring still, a little beat up, but hey. And I did not forget the lid this time to my Tiny's container. Now, I don't know what this shell is, but it looks like it has a Talon shape, and I love it. It is so glossy. It's not wet. That is dry, and it was that glossy. So I'm going to name this the glass shell. Oh, again, if you know what this one is, let me know too. It's so nice. I just trying to get a lot of new shells that I haven't seen before. There we go, a nice hand of pretties. That calico at the end is stunning. Very lovely red coloring. And yes, I'm going, while I'm here, I might as well pick up all of these lucines. Now, I don't know if this is an outbreak of lucines, kind of like the purple sea snails have their little outbreaks, but I just was amazed at so many of these little crosshatched all over the place. If you're local in the area, let me know if these beaches over here in Boca have a lot of lucines like this laying around, because I thought it was pretty neat, so I picked up as many as I could. And here is a knickernut, a gray knickernut or a sea pearl. I like those. Those are pretty cool to collect. And more orange on this rough scallop. Very pretty. All right, and here is another little jewel box of sorts. I thought this was a, oh, what's the name of that snail? Hold on, it's slipping me. Why get a huff, a huff snail. But I think those are much smaller and a little bit more circular, that shape to them. So I'm gonna go, I don't know, I'm just gonna say jewel box. It's a jewel box. I don't know why I'm doubting myself right now, but I would usually call that like, here's a leafy jewel box, but I'm not sure. I think I'm just researching stuff too much where I'm questioning everything now. Here is a mossy arc. I know what that one is. And yep, okay, why not? I'll collect another false stripe limpet. And I'll go ahead and collect this worm snail. I like sticking these in a jar. They look so pretty in there. This was a perfect shot. I was like, cue the birds. Thank you. Here is a red-brown arc. My favorite of the arcs. I really do like these shells. I don't know why. They just speak to me. At first, I thought that was a sea coconut. But no, just a ball. So collect that for trash. Now this is a sea coconut. It's not a ball. So I'll go ahead and collect that one. I don't collect a lot of these, but I like this one. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. I took a step forward. That is my footprint. And I backed up. I was like, wait a minute. I think that was a flat. And yes, it was. Whew, didn't break. Okay, that's beautiful. I'm glad I found this one. I was not expecting to find any kind of flat scallop. You know, there just was not much in these little piles besides all these lucines, but that is beautiful. Very, very happy to collect this zigzag flat. It's a broken hairy triton, the second one. Oh, that would have been so awesome. But it's all right. I was happy with what I found. Another piece of rose coral. So pretty. Just looks like a flower to me. Yep, and I definitely will collect the pops of orange. This is a nice scaly scallop. I do sell these in my Etsy store also, so if you like the scalies and want to purchase any, you can head on over to my Etsy store. Link is in this video's description. Another thorny oyster and a beautiful rough scallop. Oh, that is really pretty. Nice juvenile one. And another thorny oyster. I like this one. It's got some thorns on it. I found a white one a little while back that had like a purple pink thorn. Just a single one. Looked like a rhinoceros. It was gorgeous. But these, when they are intact, like this one was retrieved from a dive, it has beautiful, beautiful thorns. Some of these are still broken off, but I got this from the shell show that I went to last weekend. My last uploaded video was of that shell show, if you missed it and want to check it out. And here is a green star, a juvenile green star. Now here is the common shell that I'm used to seeing on the beaches that I frequent, a spectral bittersweet clam. All right, let's see what we got over here. All right, this is a bit surf worn. This is either a sharp rib drill or it could be a thick lipped drill in the soft version. A broken thorny oyster, but it did have a lot going on. Flipping it over on this underside, I thought that was pretty neat. This little kind of a cavity of whatever made this passageway. I thought that was pretty neat. Looks like a piece of art to me. When you start looking up close at stuff, you can really get an nature's artistic view. Just gonna walk a little farther north past this beach swept area because all the stuff will be not here. Oh, I hate that. Oh, the shells that might have gone with it. Anyways, here's a handful of littles. It's got some jewel boxes. Let's see what's down here. A turkey wing. And a false limpet. I ran into so many of those. But this turkey wing is not as colorful, so I'll just go ahead and leave that one. So heading back now, and there was quite the feeding frenzy happening. So I stopped and recorded a little bit. It was quite entertaining. are the shells that I found on this beach walk, and I was absolutely thrilled with what I was able to find because at first I was a little bit discouraged, not thinking I would find too much, not finding much on the beach, but after looking a little closer and fishing in the water, I was very happy to collect what I did. Love the flat scallop, of course. The Cabrits, oh, so amazing. All the pops on the scalies are beautiful. I enjoyed all the jewel boxes that I collected and the Thorny oysters, even the broken shells, all collectively together, the alphabet and broken queen. They look so nice. I made out with these cross-hatched lucines and the Pennsylvania lucines. There's definitely a lot of them, and if you're local, let me know if that's a normal thing. Made out with all the limpets as well. Lots of different varieties on those, but this Cabrit Murex is so pretty. Here's the underside of that one and the underside of the goldmouth triton. Love that nerite and calorie as well. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like these videos and have not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. It helps YouTube know how to push it out to more viewers like yourself that would love to watch these shelling videos. Thank you so much, and until next time, I leave you with this.